Every month, thousands of young men from Kerala land in the Gulf. They send money home, they eat rice and curry in a shared apartment. They work hard, they feel proud, and every night, alone in that room, they feel something they can't name it. They call it missing home, but it's not that. The direction ഇല്ലായ്മയാണ്, the emptiness ആണ്, purpose ഇല്ലാത്തതുകൊണ്ട്. Stay, I want to talk to you about what real wealth looks like and why most wealth are very few of it. Let me tell you a story about two cousins. Real story, name change. Cousin A goes to Gulf at age 22. Gets a job with a reasonable salary, send money home. Buys gold every year. Goes to Kerala for Onam and Vishu. Buys a new phone every year. Has a good life. By the metrics of his family uses to measure it. Cousin B doesn't go to Gulf. Stays in Kerala. Earns half as much as him. Lives simply. Spends 2 hours every evening learning a digital skill. Design, coding, content writing, copywriting. Build slowly. At 35, cousin A is still in the Gulf. Same job, slightly higher salary, 3 lakhs in savings, dependent entirely on his employer. At age 35, cousin B has a client base, a skill set that is location independent, the income that is growing, not stagnating. അവർ രണ്ടുപേരും ഹാർഡ് വർക്ക് ചെയ്തു. ഒരാൾക്ക് സാലറി ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു, മറ്റേ ആൾക്ക് അസറ്റ്സ് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. I want to be precise about what I'm calling out here, because this requires respect, genuine respect for the men who go to the Gulf. Going to the Gulf to work, to support a family, to build something, that is not weakness. That requires courage, that requires sacrifice. I know this. What I'm calling out is not sacrifice, it's what is missing from the plan. Most young men go to the Gulf with the financial goal. Pay off the family debt, build a house, get married. These are real goals, these are good goals, but they are endpoints. They are not foundations. Once the house is built, once the debt is paid, what then? Another loan, another target, another 5 years? The trap is not the Gulf. The trap is thinking that salary is the same as wealth. That employment security is the same as financial security. That remittance is the same as investment. പൈസ അയക്കുന്നു, പക്ഷെ നിന്റെ പൈസ നിനക്ക് വേണ്ടി പണിയെടുക്കുന്നുണ്ടോ? The man who builds no assets in his 20s will trade his health for money in his 40s and his money for health in his 60s. This is not pessimism, this is pattern recognition. Let me explain the psychology of why this happens. Why the smart hard-working men end up financially fragile even after a decade of good earning. There is a concept called lifestyle inflation. Every time your income increases, your spending increases proportionally, sometimes more. The salary goes up, the phone gets better, the clothes get better, the food gets slightly better, the trips home get more expensive. None of these are mistakes in isolation, but together they consume every increase before it can become wealth. Then there's social spending. Psychology I call Gulf image maintenance. When you go home to Kerala, there is an enormous invisible social pressure to appear prosperous, gift the relatives, book the hall for a function, buy the new car even though you are here for 20 days. This is not your fault. This is cultural programming. But cultural programming that is not examined becomes a cage. ഈ മാസത്തെ ചായ പൈസ, ഈ മാസം സേവ് ചെയ്യാത്ത പൈസ, അത് നിന്റെ അംഗം നാളെ. Even then there is a deep psychological issue, the safety illusion. Having a stable job in the Gulf feels safe. And it is relatively safe until it isn't. Until the company downsizes, until the visa expires, until the economy shifts, until your body can't do the work anymore. Your safety is not in employment. Your safety is in skills that are portable, savings that are invested, and income streams that do not require daily physical presence. I want to say something that might make some of you uncomfortable. The Gulf dream, as it was designed for the previous generation, is outdated. That generation had no internet, no access to remote work, no digital economy. The Gulf was genuinely the best option for economic mobility, and it served its purpose. But you are a different generation. You have access to tools and market your father never had. The world will pay for your skills regardless of your passport, regardless of your location, regardless of who your family is. And if you are in the Gulf, you actually have an advantage. You have a reasonable salary covering your living expenses. That means you have discretionary hours that someone in Kerala surviving on local salary might not have. Gulf ഒരു ഡിസഡ്വാൻറ്റേജ് അല്ല, ഗൾഫ് ഒരു അൺഫുൾഫിൽഡ് ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റിയാണ്. നിങ്ങൾ അത് ഫിൽ ചെയ്യാൻ ചൂസ് ചെയ്യണം മാത്രം. 50 hours you spend scrolling is that shared apartment in Dubai. That's a version of you spending and building something that will free you. That version of your excess is not out of reach. The Gulf wealth architecture 3 pillars. Pillar 1, skill capital, the foundation. Pick one skill that has digital market value. Just one, for 90 days. Example that applies specifically to young Malayali with Gulf exposure. Arabic English translation, content creation for Middle Eastern brands, logistics and supply chain knowledge, digital marketing for Kerala-based businesses, targeting Gulf Malayalis, video editing, one skill, 45 minutes a day, 90 days. By the end of those 90 days, you will have a foundation that no employer can. Finally, financial architecture, the system. The moment your next salary arrives, before you spend one dirham or real or anything else, you transfer a fixed percentage to a separate account. I'd suggest 20% as minimum. This is not optional. This is not flexible. This is the rule. That money goes to two places only: an emergency fund that covers 3 months expenses, and after that is full, an investment in something that growth potential, index funds, a small business back home, a skill course, real estate research. Specific vehicle matters less than habit. The habit is everything. Salary കിട്ടിയാൽ ആദ്യം ഈ അക്കൗണ്ടിൽ ബാലൻസ് പിന്നെ നോക്കിയാൽ മതി. Pillar 3. Time architecture, a multiplier. You have realistically 2 to 3 free hours every evening in the Gulf. Most men watch content, call briefly, and sleep. Redistribute one of these hours. 1 hour, not 2. 1. Monday and Wednesday, skill development. Thursday, financial review and planning. Friday and Saturday, create something using your developing skill, even if it's imperfect, even if no one sees. Sundays, rest. Completely. This is a 5-hour week investment in your future. It's not heroic, it's not extreme. It is a minimum that compounds into something real. The shift I'm asking you to make is not from lazy to discipline. That framing doesn't work. The shift is from I'm a worker to I'm a builder who is currently working. Those two identities live in the same body, in the same apartment, in the same Gulf city, but they make completely different decisions in the same 24 hours. The worker comes home, recovers from the job, and waits for the weekend. Builder comes home, recovers briefly, and then invests 1 hour in something that doesn't expire. There are no ഒരാളാണ് ഈ തീരുമാനിക്ക ആരാണ് ഡിസ്റ്റൻസ് എടുക്കുന്നതും. The Gulf gave you proximity to wealth. Now you have decided to whether to observe it or build it. I want you to imagine going home to Kerala in 5 years. Not for a holiday, to stay. Not because you got tired, but because you built something that allows you to choose. Imagine that. Choosing to be home, not being forced, not being stuck. That is what freedom actually looks like for our generation. Not a mansion, not luxury car. Choice, location, freedom. Time with the people who matter. That is possible for you. But it requires a different plan than the one nature handed to you. ഗൾഫിലേക്ക് പോവാ, കാരണം വേറൊരു പ്ലാനും ഇല്ലാത്തതുകൊണ്ടല്ല. കാരണം നെക്സ്റ്റ് ലെവലിലേക്ക് പോകാനുള്ള പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോം അതാണ്. If you are in the Gulf right now watching this, come into your city. Dubai, Riyadh, Qatar, Kuwait, Abu Dhabi. I want to know who's here. And tell me in the comments. What's the one skill you are going to build this week? Subscribe, because next week we are going into the mind, specifically the psychology of men who stay calm when everything around them is chaos. You don't want to miss that. You didn't cross an ocean to stay average. Build accordingly.